Hey,
Josh, do you miss the enduro bike? It's an interesting question that I get asked quite a lot, so I thought I'd make an interesting video. The short answer is, of course, yes and no. There's no easy answer, but there is an answer. For those of you who've been watching the channel for a while will know that I came from an enduro bike, a KTM 500 EXC, to the Tenere 700, which is more of an adventure bike. So that's why this channel is called MVDBR Enduro. That was where we started. Got the T7 as an addition to the 500. Ended up selling the 500 mainly because we needed more money for a house deposit, which ended up being a bust anyway, if you know the story. But the question is, do I miss it, and would I get another one? Invariably, when people ask me that question, if I miss the enduros, the answer I generally give is, I miss the wheelies. The other main thing that I would say I miss is the group rides we used to do and the camaraderie that there was between the enduro riders. You still get the same sort of thing with the adventure bikes, but it's a different sort of fun. It's sort of more social, I think, riding in the enduros, because you're stopping on obstacles and getting stuck and chatting and helping each other out a lot more. But with the adventure bikes, you're sort of more on open roads and just cruising along. You don't get a lot of chance to stop and muck around and whatnot. So there's that. Probably the one other thing I would say that I miss is the weight of the enduro bikes. Obviously, being, the 500 DXC is what, 110, 115 kilos. This thing is around about almost double that. So, getting into sticky situations on the EXC is, not a problem at all. But on this thing, you really kind of got to be careful where you go, especially when you're by yourself. There's trees down everywhere. Even just turning this bike around on a track like this, it's so much easier on the EXC. There are ways of doing it on the big bike that are easier, of course, the side stand turns and whatnot, but so let's get on to what I don't miss about the enduro bike, or the things that I kind of prefer about the adventure bike, or the T7 specifically. Obviously a big one is bike maintenance. Of course, the EXC needing an oil change for like 15 hours. I mean, you don't have to do it that often if you're not racing it or whatever, but there's still a lot more maintenance with the little enduro bikes. Yeah, again, I'm not talking about DRZ 400s or WR 250Rs. I'm talking about proper enduro bikes, race bred lightweight beasts. They're highly strung. They need a lot of TLC if you want to get a bit of life out of them. But we're comparing two very different styles of motorcycle riding. Obviously bikes like the 500 EXC can be modified a bit to do some light adventure riding, but really they're just, they're not designed for that sort of thing. So that's number one, maintenance. Second thing would be transporting bikes. I really didn't enjoy, you want to go for a ride on the weekend, get up in the morning, you got to load the bike up on the trailer, get all your gear together and everything. and then you get there and you got to unload it. Oh yeah, you know, it's not a big deal when you're just used to doing it, but once you start riding a bike that you just jump on at home and ride, it's a lot easier. Oh, so I've got a track up here, potentially. Yeah, we had a huge storm come through here last week. There is carnage. So yeah, that's number 2 thing that I don't miss. Loading and unloading bikes. Holy shit. Some keen four-wheel drivers been going through there. Look at the bloody ambulances. Must be doing some ambulance four-wheel driver training or something. So the third thing would be, and it's kind of a few sort of sub items in this list, but basically the overall comfort of the bike. If you've ever ridden a full-on enduro bike for any length of time, you'll know that the seat is like a plank of wood, suspension is hard, the riding position is not comfortable whatsoever, and they vibrate like hell. Also, you know, if you want to get into the camping or, you know, longer day rides and you want to carry a bit of gear, like you know, whatever, camping gear, food, whatever. Very difficult to put luggage on an enduro bike. Wow, man, this place is really destroyed. So yeah, I'm really been getting into the motorcycle camping. I do really enjoy it. So that's another thing that I like about this bike. It's a lot easier to pack some shit on it and go out for a camp. Wow. Yeah, I think that might be the end of the line too. So, you know, there's also the fuel range issue with the enduro bikes. You know, unless you put a bigger tank on, you don't get the same range as you do with a bigger bike. I mean, even though the T7's only got a 16 litre tank, it'll still generally get you around 300 k's, sometimes more. Wow, that is just a mess up there. And of course, being a Yamaha, it's pretty damn reliable, so you don't have to worry too much. So I guess, you know, that begs the question, would I get another enduro? Sometimes I think that I'd like to, but then, you know, I start thinking back to when I still had the 500 and I had the T7 in the garage. I did take the, you know, the XC out a few times, but every time I did, I wished I hadn't. It's so uncomfortable, and I just find myself not really enjoying that style of riding anymore. Although, let's face it, none of us are getting any younger, and it is a bit of a young man's game. You know, we're up here at the little mine. Used to be a mine here. It's a Noga mine, I think it was called. I have no idea what they mined here. So, you know, my initial plan was always to keep the 500 and, you know, use this for adventure riding. You know, a little bit of hard adventure riding, but still keep the 500. Had I known that I was going to be getting rid of the 500, I possibly would have swung towards a 690 or 701 instead of the T7, something a little bit more easy to handle off-road, lighter weight, but can still do the Ks, still pretty good maintenance intervals, and of course can still do a fucking wheelie. Now, don't get me wrong, the T7 can wheelie, but man, it's really hard to get the front wheel of that thing up unless you got great traction. The 500 XC wheelies were effortless, and you know, the 701 690s are really pretty good wheelie machines as well. Wheelies ain't life, but wheelies are a lot of fun, let's be honest. Anyway, when all said and done, I have absolutely zero regrets of buying this Tenere 700. It's a freaking great bike. I love it. Every time I jump on it, it makes me smile, and that is the number one thing that you got to think about. Anyway, hopefully that's answered that question, mostly for you guys that keep asking. Might do a little bit more exploring around here and see if there's any tracks that I can actually get through, so hang around if you want to see a bit more riding on this beast. Actually, before you go, I just want to do a couple more quick supporter shout outs. I've been forgetting to do them again. Number one for this week is Adrian Petrie from Tasmania. Thanks for your support, Adrian. And also we got Brendan O'Donnell. That flicked sideways. Yeah, Brendan's got an Instagram. He's a bit of a crafty legend. He makes stuff, and really nice stuff too. Like he made like a little ring box for a wedding ring or something, or engagement ring. Yeah, out of like timber and metal. Like he makes really nice stuff. If you want to check out his Instagram, guys, I'll put a link in the description. It's The Maker Shed. He's The Maker Shed. So yeah, cheers Adrian and Brendan, appreciate your support, guys. And it's good to see that I'm actually still getting a couple more people joining up on Patreon. I'm kind of surprised, you know, but it's really good to see. So thanks to the new guys as well. Of course, we're getting a few guys that leave, so it's a bit of come and go. You win some, you lose some, eh? Whoa. Take the interesting track. Yeah, I'd say it's going to take council a while to clear all this shit up, if they ever get around to it. Also, you know what, as much as I love the sound of those big single cylinder 4-strokes with a decent pipe on them, they just don't come close to the sound of a 270-degree twin cross plane beast. It's like a big old V8, but not really. It feels like one. Big timber coming down here. I think I'm going to pull a pin there. This is ridiculous. Actually, I did make myself an espresso coffee in the thermos, so I'll sit here and drink it out in the bush. I even frothed some milk for this for this coffee, but I don't think that's gonna have helped. Oh, it's still a little bit frothy. Check it out, just need some bloody chocolate and I'm good to go. Cheers. Yeah, that's better than instant. Anyway, I doubt whether this video has answered the question of whether or not I missed the Enduro very clearly. But as I said, it's not an easy yes or no answer. Holy shit. Waiting for a massive branch to drop on my head. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Next video hopefully is going to be Jesse out on the MT-09 Scrambler again. Hopefully we get a bit further this time. I told him to just ease into it a little bit before he breaks it. Don't break it straight off the bat. Anyway, we'll see you guys then. Have a good one. Cheers.